Hello everyone. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do exercises for chapter 11. Okay, so if you open the book, the last pages of the chapter 11, you see in the exercises, let me show you. The book asks you to draw some objects, okay, a bookshelf, some details, so this hinge and a screw, and this country hutch. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, and you see the book has provided all the dimensions for you. The first thing that you need to do is to go to Modular Space, okay, and then start drawing the objects based on the dimensions that book has provided for you. Okay, so start drawing the bookshelf, the country hutch, and the details, all of them. Okay, and this screw and everything. Just ignore the red color over here. Okay, so yours will be black and white. Okay, just there is a typo in the dimension for exercise 2, and that is this one. Okay, so it should be 1/32, not 1/16. Okay, this is wrong. It should be 1/32, and so the offset value over here. Okay, and you see in this exercise, for example, we have just zoomed in on a portion of one of your drawings, okay, or zoomed in on this detail, or on this portion, so, or on this portion, you see. So so you just need to draw these 3 major big shapes, okay, and then draw these details. Now, after you have drawn all of these, you need to create layouts and put them in layouts, and let's see how we should do that. Okay, so let's ignore this one, which is by default here. I'm gonna create a new layout. Okay, so for exercise number 1, the book asks you to create a layout and set the scale to 1 inch. Okay, and that's it. And then create a viewport and zoom on this part. Okay, and just one thing, you don't need to, for now, you don't need to be worried about inserting dimension lines and these kind of things, okay, text and these kind of things right now. Okay, so you are going to do it for your midterm project. You are going to add those to your drawings later on. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that right now. So no dimension, no text, and no multi-leader style. You don't need to use those right now. Okay, let's get back to AutoCAD. So we have the layout. Okay, you just need to double click, activate the viewport, and zoom on this portion. Okay, for example here. Okay, you just need to add, let's move this a little bit. Okay, and then it is saying to set the scale to 1 inch. 1 inch. Use pan to just move it, actually move your view, and then lock the scale. Okay, so you don't change it anymore. Double click, and that's it. This is the first layout. Okay, now I'm going to create the second layout. Let's go to Modular Space, and let's see what we need for the second exercise. For the second exercise, the book asks you to draw the hinge and a screw. Okay, so you should have drawn them before. Okay, as I told you, you just need to set a layout for it and set the scale, and that's it. Set the scale for the hinge viewport to 1 and to the for this one to 4. Okay, for the screw. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so in layout 3, I'm gonna delete this viewport, go to layout, and I'm gonna create 2 viewports. Okay, one for the hinge and the other for the screw. Okay, now double click F7, double click F7, and now you just need to zoom in on the hinge and set the scale that book said. So for the hinge it is 1 to 1, and for this one, for the screw, it is 4. Okay, I'm gonna pan the view, and that's it. And you see in the book, let me show you. In the book, we are not able to see the boundaries, right? The boundary of the viewport. So I'm gonna tell you how to do that. Okay, let's move on to the next step right now. So I'm gonna create another layout. Go to layout 4. Now let's see. For the next question, I forgot to lock the viewports. Okay, let's do that first. Go to layout 3, lock this viewport, and lock this one as well. Go to next layout, and now let's see what we need. Okay, for this one, you just need to create a viewport for the country hatch, another one for the side, or just one for both actually. So again, you don't need to insert the text and dimensions, okay? And you don't need to fill actually populate your title block right now. So over here we have the information, right? So the scale is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna go into AutoCAD. Oh, just before doing that, let's see. So you see we have the frame and title block over here, and we already created those, right? Not in this file, but in your template file. Okay, so the only thing that you need to do is to open your template file, go to layout that you have created this frame and title block and viewport, select all of these, hit Ctrl C on the keyboard, go back to your drawing, and hit, I'm going to delete this one first. Okay, hit Ctrl V and just place it in the layout, somewhere in the layout. Okay. Let's rename this layout to Country Hatch. Okay. And then let's activate the viewport. Okay, so I cannot zoom in and out because it is locked. Okay, so when you activated the viewport, unlock the viewport and then zoom out so you can find your objects, right? So zoom in on the portion that you want, and then you need to set the scale. Let's see what is the scale for this. 3/4 of an inch. So I need to increase the size of the viewport, so I'm going to expand it a little bit more. I'm going to double click, activate it, and pan the view. Okay. If you want to move, let's set the scale again. I forgot to lock it. So lock the viewport. Okay, lock the scale, and then I'm gonna move the viewport a little bit. Okay, that's it. Now, if you created the viewport yourself from here, okay, make sure to go and change the layer, okay, for it. Change it to viewport. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this for now. I'm gonna get back to the second exercise and pick the viewports and change the layers for them to, I'm gonna assign them to viewport layer. Okay. And now, as I told you, we don't want to see the boundaries of the viewport. Yes? So while you are in the layout, you just need to come here at the top and you see the viewport layer. I'm gonna actually freeze the viewport. So we are not able to see the viewports anymore. They are freezed. If you wanted to see them again, you just need to come here and pause them. Okay, that's it. Let's do it here as well. So again, you see we are so in each layout you need to do it separately. Okay, so I'm in the next layout, in this layout, country hutch. I'm gonna need to do it again. And again, you don't need to populate the title block right now, okay? You will be doing it for your midterm project. Now, I'm gonna do the next exercise, okay? So, I'm in the same exercise, but next one. So this is the next one, and as you can see, we have kind of created 3 viewports. We need to create 3 viewports for each part and zoom in on those portions, and yeah, that's it. Let's do it. So instead of creating a new layout and again copying and pasting the title block and frame and everything in it, I'm gonna just create a duplicate or a copy of this layout. Okay, so move or copy. I'm gonna create a copy, click this one, and I'm gonna move it to the end. Okay, so this is the copy. I'm gonna change the name to I'm gonna keep the name as is, okay, for now. So I wanna see the viewport, so I'm gonna thaw that. So a portion of this image is kind of located over here. I'm gonna move the viewport a little bit, and then I need to zoom in on this. Okay, it is locked, so unlock it first, and then I'm gonna zoom in on this portion, right, based on the image in the book. So, and set the scale. So let's see, the scale is listed just below it, right? So 1.5 inch. Set the scale. And I need to expand my viewport a little bit. Okay, let's move it a little bit down and expand it. And then don't forget to lock the viewport. Okay, next I'm gonna create another viewport over here and another one over here. So let's change the layer of the viewports first. Go to home. From here, select viewport, and that's it. Now I need to zoom in on this latch over here. Set the scale. It is 6 inches in the book, so this one I'm gonna pan, and that's it. Now this one, I need to zoom in on this portion of the bookshelf. The scale is again 6 inch. So I need to make adjustments over here. Try to make it similar to book, okay? So whatever, don't forget to lock the viewport. Lock it. The same is here. Lock it. Okay, and now I'm going to just freeze the viewports, okay? Okay, so none of them should be activated when you freeze the viewports, okay? And the same is again for the next one, okay? Create a copy of this one. Move it to the end. Go to the, and then zoom on the portion that you want. So make it visible. Unlock the viewport. And do it based on whatever you can see in the book, okay? We don't need this one anymore. And there is another object over here. So do it the same as the book. And now let's talk about creating this part of this view, okay? Let's go to the Modular Space. So you may have trouble drawing this portion, so I'm going to tell you how to do that, okay? So let's delete this part first. Actually, there's no need to draw the lines, but I'm just going to create so you can see that better. So first of all, you need to create 2 circles, one at the top, and the radius for that one is 2.5 inch. So pick a point, 2.5 inch, and then I'm gonna pick the center, not the center, actual quadrant, and place it over here, okay? Let's delete this. Second circle at the bottom. The radius is 1.5 inch. Pick the quadrant, make sure the OS snap is on, okay, and the quadrant is active, and then place it here. Now you should not do this, okay? You should not come here and pick this quadrant point and pick the other one and draw a line, okay? This is wrong. You see, there is a fault over here. Don't do this. Let's delete. And let's create a line, okay? So L, enter. Now, instead of picking the quadrant, you need to pick the tangent, okay? And you remember when we were in a command and we wanted to pick a specific point, like tangent, in order to stop to that point, you could type in the letter for that. Okay, so I'm going to type in TAN for tangent, hit enter, and then wherever you pick on this side of the circle, on the right half side of the circle, it doesn't matter. Just pick one point and then come here, and again you need to type in the tangent to pick the tangent point. Okay, so TAN enter and pick somewhere on this side of the circle and put it, hit enter, and that's it. You see, it's so nice and clean. It is tangent to a circle. And then you just need to hit trim and trim the excess parts. Yeah, that's it. So again, the first thing you needed to do for this assignment is to come here in the Modular Space and start drawing all the shapes over here. Okay, and then go and create layouts and such things. And I forgot to delete the first one, so you can start your drawing in this one. So you can delete this viewport and create these. Actually, you don't need to delete that, but you can use the first one. Yeah, that's it. If you don't want it, just go and delete it. Okay, and don't forget to rename your layouts. So the first one, you should rename it to bookshelf, and the rest based on the drawings. And that's it. Good luck with your exercises.